Well, Tropical Storm Debbie is back over the warm waters of the Atlantic where it is set to regain strength. The storm is forecasted to make a second landfall Thursday on the South Carolina coast. Heavy rainfall is expected to continue across the Carolinas the next couple of days before Debbie moves north through the mid-Atlantic by the end of the week. As of this morning, flash flood warning is expired for the Northeast, but heavy rain still possible. The far-reaching storm has already killed at least 5 people in Florida and Georgia. And turn back now to meteorologist Clay Smith in the Storm Alert Center. And Clay, we were talking about how seeing some of the flooding in the areas like down in South Carolina and Charleston, and now what's ahead for them and those on the coast.
Yeah, that's right, Latrice. And Charleston and some of the low country in South Carolina already very flood prone. And this slow moving storm really not doing any favors to Charleston, Myrtle Beach, down into Savannah. Now it will start to pick up a little bit of steam as we move into the next couple of days through your weekend. So that's certainly good news. Now for us back at home, things are relatively quiet. We do have a few showers trying to develop along the Cumberland Plateau, but the air is still pretty dry in the mid-level, so I don't anticipate too much in the way of rain. But here is Tropical Storm Debbie, strengthened a little bit over the last couple of hours, still bringing in a little bit of heavy rain to the Grand Strand of South Carolina up through the Outer Banks. Now, as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours, Debbie will start to jog to the north relatively slowly, piling in some of that moisture across portions of the Carolinas. Now, lately, the storm has wrapped a little dry air around it, which is certainly good news as regarding the heaviest rain totals, but we still have tropical storm warnings in effect, likely to make a second landfall. Of course, we had the landfall earlier this week in the Big Bend of Florida as a Category 1 hurricane, going to make another landfall as a tropical storm somewhere between Myrtle Beach and Charleston. And then as we get into your weekend, finally gets caught up in the jet stream, and this is going to shoot it to the northeast. So that will start to get it out of the southeast, which is certainly good news. But over the next 24 to 36 hours, again, the Carolina is still going to be dealing with Debbie. It's going to have, we'll say, another 5 to 10 inches of rain in spots, especially portions of eastern South Carolina and western portion or eastern portions of North Carolina as well. And you can see that fine gradient. And the further east you go, the better chance you have of getting in some of that heavier rain. While here locally, yeah, it's going to be dry across the Tennessee Valley for the next 7 days. So as we continue through the Atlantic hurricane season, I encourage you to download the Local 3 weather app. We'll keep you updated with all of the tropical information you need, plus our weather here at home. And speaking of our weather here at home, of course, school started for Hamilton and Marion counties. It was a great start to the day, temperatures in the 70s, but we are quickly rising into the 80s. 89 now in Chattanooga, 85 in Athens, and 84 in Blue Ridge. Hour by hour, we'll be in the mid-90s through about 6 p.m. Look at that heat index, though, up to 104 degrees. Yeah, that August heat just keeps rolling, and then tonight will gradually fall back into the 70s. So highs across the Tennessee Valley, generally going to be in the mid-90s. We'll have a few upper 80 readings in the Mont Eagle and Altamont, 94 today in Soddy Daisy, 93 in Turtletown, 91 in Andrews, and 93 in Murphy, across North Georgia. Generally going to be in the mid-90s again. So we are going to have that heat all the way down into North Georgia and Northeast Alabama, 95 in Bridgeport and 95 in Stevenson. Now, as we take a look at your next 7 days, I have good news for you. It is going to cool down just a little bit. Now, the next couple of days through about Friday, going to be pretty hot. Then the Friday front comes through, and that's going to cool us down a little bit into your weekend. Highs back in the lower 90s. And the humidity is going to drop. That's going to be key because we've been very muggy for the last several weeks. We're finally going to get a brief reprieve in some of that humidity as dew points drop back into the 60s. Not going to be the fall cold front that some of you may desire, but hey, we're only 45 days away. So we're getting there, and we're getting closer to college football season as well. So something to look forward to here coming down the pipeline. As we take a look at your futurecast, going to be mainly dry with the exception of maybe a shower along the Cumberland Plateau. Notice how Debbie continues to move to the north very slowly through about Thursday. Now going into tomorrow, we're going to have slightly more cloud cover, I think, maybe a shower or two in our eastern communities. But then Debbie starts to move to the north. This front comes through, and this is going to bring us some drier air and slightly cooler temperatures heading into your weekend. So again, that's going to be very nice, especially if you have any outdoor plans going into your weekend. But the next couple of days can be hot and humid, nice Saturday into Sunday, and then the heat starts to build back in as we move into the next work week. Latrice?